What's up, kitchen table wizards? What's up, deck brewers from all over the world? It's tribal time again, and it's going to be a special tribal time because we are going to heaven and back. I have brewed for you this time a white and black angel deck. And even for you commander players out there will be a lot of ideas in this 60 card list, so stick around. Some of you might have known that I've been playing from the mid-90s, and one of my best decks from in the day of course included 4 Serra Angels. Now for me, Serra Angel remains an iconic card, so for many years I wanted to build like this really cool angel deck. I never got to it, I never really found the right flavor, the right cards, the right shell. Until in Battle for Zendikar, the Ikoria Shepherd was printed. This was an angel that I really liked, but still I didn't find the right shell for it. And then a few years later in Ultimate Masters, the Angel of Despair was reprinted. And there were a lot of graveyard themed cards in this set. They also called them Graveyard Masters. Well, I found a lot of cool cards to put together, finally found a shell for my Ikoria Shepherd, and now I've built for you this crazy angel reanimator deck where you're going to put a lot of big angels with enter the battlefield triggers in your graveyard, reanimate them. They will do crazy powerful stuff when they enter play, and you will really enjoy playing this deck. At least I am really enjoying playing this deck. Now for the next part of the video, I'm even more excited because one of the Serra Angels is going to join us present the deck. Ah, there goes the phone, so that will be probably her. Hello Miss Serra, how are you?
I'm okay, I'm waiting for the bus to the sanctum, but I'm really happy that someone finally decided to include me in a deck again.
Technically, you're not really in it?
What do you mean I'm not in it? So you're saying I rescheduled my spa date with the Semite Healers to talk about Lyra freaking Dawnbringer?
Well...
Or I bet you think that Bassandra Battle Seraph looks hotter than me, right? You know what? You go on with your stupid deck without me. I'm going back to the old school players. At least there I get the appreciation I deserve.
Okay, that didn't really go as planned. Let's continue anyway. So before we continue, if you like my content, if you like my wacky brews, if you like angels insulting me, I don't know, give the video a like. And at the end of the video, I will be giving away another €10 card market voucher. Thank you, Card Market, for providing us with these cool gifts. If you want to participate in the draw, it's very simple. Just subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below, and maybe you will win a voucher in one of the next deck decks. Today's deck will be only costing around $30 or €25, and of course you find the list also in the description below. So as always, we start with the basic land art, the flavor of the deck, and we are going to Dominaria, where the Serra Angels live. I play 7 planes in this deck, and I needed to include this beautiful angelic art of Dmitry Marinsky. These are the homes of the Serra Angels depicted on this planes art. From the plains we are going to the swamps. From Dominaria we go to Innistrad for this nice art of a graveyard with some angel statues and a mysterious angel in the background. 5 swamps will be enough for this deck. I also included 4 Evolving Wilds, and this is a special art from Dark Ascension. I think it fits perfectly in the deck. I also included 3 Scoured Barrens and 1 Orzhov Basilica. Of course, the deck needs to have a Seraph Sanctuary. It's a land that gives you an additional life, and whenever an angel enters the battlefield, you also get 1 life. And of course, the deck couldn't be complete without the Vault of the Archangel, a land that if you tap it for 4 mana, creatures you control gain Death Touch and lifelink. To finish up, I included a Mortuary Mire. It's a great card to get cards from your graveyard back on top of your library. And if you want to cycle some cards into your graveyard, you can use a Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Now to Heaven we go, and we are going to talk about how we will reanimate our angels. First, of course, we need to get the angels into the graveyard. Final Parting searches your library for 2 cards. You put one in the hand and the other one into your graveyard. Now, this is an awesome card for this deck, as you will be using your graveyard to get a lot of cards back into the battlefield. The following device is not as handy as an Apple Watch, but it does have an ability that the Apple Watch doesn't have. It gets angels into your graveyard. And it's really crucial for this deck. If you want to put stuff in your graveyard, which card better to include than Buried Alive? Search your library for 3 creature cards and put them into your graveyard. We really need this in our deck. Now on to the reanimation spells. This is probably how we see ourselves if we are stuck in quarantine for too long. Unburial Rites is a sorcery for 5 mana that gets creature cards from our graveyard to the battlefield, and for 4 mana you can play it again from your graveyard with Flashback. This is without a doubt the most important card in our deck. Now the art in Ezqimo doesn't really depict an angel, more like a teddy bear that is left in the dirt and the rain for too long, but it's a great reanimation card. And the God of the Dead, Erebos, has borrowed us his whip to get the angels back from heaven to the earth. Now the moment you all have been waiting for, let's look at some angels. The most badass bald angel of the deck and the inspiration for me to brew this deck is of course the Angel of Despair. This deck includes 3 copies of it. Now if you're lucky, this can be a brutal card for your opponent, because let's say on turn 2 you have a perpetual timepiece and you get an Angel of Despair in your hand. Then, on turn 3 you play an Ezqimo, you get the Angel of Despair entering the battlefield, destroying a permanent, and because it's only the beginning of the game and maybe you even started, what better permanent to destroy than your opponent's lands? Mostly when you have a start like this, you will win the game. Another 3-off angel in the deck is the Emeria Shepherd. It costs 7 mana, it gives you a 4/4 flyer, and it has the landfall ability. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If that land is a plains, you may return that non-land permanent to the battlefield instead. Now there's a cool combo with the Emeria Shepherd and Evolving Wilds, because when you play Evolving Wilds you get a non-land permanent back from the graveyard to your hand, then you sacrifice the Evolving Wilds, you search for a plane, and then you can take another non-land permanent, let's say an Angel of Despair, back from your graveyard to the battlefield. You get a 5/5 flyer and you immediately destroy a permanent of your opponent. What an awesome play, and trust me, I've did it a lot of times. The deck includes a lot of one-offs, a lot of big angels, and one of them is the Dawnbreak Reclaimer. It's a little bit more of a fair version of the Emeria Shepherd that also thinks about your opponent. Next up we have Rhea Dawnbringer, the ultimate Emeria Shepherd, because every turn you take a powerful creature back from heaven to the battlefield. And the Karmic Guide is another angel that reanimates a creature, and if you pay the echo cost, it sticks around as well. Now Bruna the Fading Light doesn't have an enter the battlefield ability, but when you cast it you may return target angel or human creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's also a 5/7 flying with vigilance, so a very strong card. And of course, if Bruna the Fading Light is on the battlefield, you want to reanimate or get Gisela the Broken Blade, a 4 3 flying first strike lifelinking angel horror for only 4 mana. And if you have them both together, they will melt into this big Eldrazi angel.
Oh my goodness.
Called Brizella Voice of Nightmares. A 9/10 flying first strike vigilance lifelink angel, and your opponent can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less. Damn! When you do it, you can also just say, game over guys, you can all go home now. Oh yeah, remember I was talking in the beginning about the card called Final Parting? Well, you just get Bruna into your hand and Gisela into the graveyard, and then it's a great combo to get them both out. Of course, you can also get them both with Buried Alive, but then you need to reanimate them. The next angel is called the Angel of Sanctions. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land permanent your opponent controls. The card also has this great ability Embalm to get it directly from the graveyard into the battlefield. And most importantly, it will sanction your opponent. So the next angel I'm going to talk about maybe looks a little bit like a nun, a good looking nun nonetheless, but a nun still. Maybe Camille, can you give me something with a nun to introduce the next slide? Okay. Remind me to never ask you to do that again, please. Let's just look at the card. The Magister of Word is an angel nun.
Wow.
That is a 4/4 flyer for 6 mana. There's a lot of text on the card, but what you need to remember is when it enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures other than Magister of Word. So the next angel is called Subjugator Angel.
Ah, Subjugator. Shall I give you an intro for this slide too?
No. Let's just leave it like that and let's just look at the slide, Camille. Thank you. So the Subjugator Angel is an uncommon from Eldritch Moon. It's not the strongest angel out there, but when it enters the battlefield, you tap all creatures your opponent controls. And when you can play it together with the Sunblast Angel, it will destroy all tapped creatures. So it's a great combo I just needed to put in the deck. Of course, it also works well when you have a lot of angels out there and your opponent has a good defense. You just tap all the creatures and attack. 3 more angels to go. Let's start with the Resolute Archangel. This angel, when it enters the battlefield, it resets your life back to your starting total. And with all the reanimation effects, this is an awesome card in the deck. Another big value angel is Linvala the Preserver. It's a 5/5 flying for 6 mana, and when you're behind, it has some cool enter the battlefield abilities. It could get you 5 life, or it could get you another additional 3/3 white angel token with flying. The Angel of Despair is not the only bald angel in our deck. No, we also included one Fallen Angel.
All the good girls go to hell.
It's a 3/3 for 5 mana with flying. It's the only pure black angel in the deck. I just love the art as well. And it has this ability where you can sacrifice a creature to give it +2/+1. Now I've put in this card mainly to get angels back into our graveyard. Let's look at an example. We have an Angel of Despair and a Fallen Angel. You sacrifice the Angel of Despair to the Fallen Angel to get it in your graveyard, and then for example with Rhea Dawnbringer you get it back at the beginning of your upkeep. Now you can do this every turn, and that means you can destroy a target permanent every turn. You can even play a land destruction deck if you never want to play against your opponent again. Now we included a lot of big angels, but we also want to do something in the early turns. Especially play defense and gain some life. and the Bishop of Wings is an ideal card for that. It's a 1/4 for only 2 mana, and when an angel enters the battlefield you gain 4 life, and even when an angel dies you can create a 1/1 spirit creature with flying.
We pray to thee, our God, this day.
Oh yeah, I also included a few extras to get back with the Emeria Shepherd. There's this Ores of Cluestone that helps us fix us mana, and then there's this expedition map which looks a bit like a treasure map. It's great to get us a lot of lands, and then you just get the map back with the Emeria Shepherd. Wretched Bomb is a 2 mana artifact that works great against aggressive strategies and token strategies, and Seal of Cleansing helps you get rid of artifacts and enchantments. 2 low mana cost permanents that you can get back with the Emeria Shepherd as well. So this was the Angel Reanimator list. Let's now look at the power rankings. I gave this deck a power of 9 because it can do some completely busted things. There are some really strong card combinations in the deck. Also, this is a complex deck to play. You really have to know all the cards in the deck to search for the right cards, to gain the right amount of life, to destroy the right permanents, and to get the right reanimation spells. So that's why it's also not that consistent. It plays equally well on offense with an Angel of Despair, then on defense with a Resolute Archangel. I think this is one of the most fun decks I've ever made, and it's definitely value for money. Now let's head into the metagame review. As I told you before, the deck is not that consistent, but if you have a Bishop of Wings out there against aggro decks, it still can hold its own. I like it more against mid-range decks because you have more time. Against control and combo decks, it's a little bit less strong. If you can go very fast, it will be very good, but if you need a lot of time, they can quickly disrupt your game plan, get rid of your graveyard or counter your recursion spells, and then you are probably in a boatload of trouble. Now, in the beginning of the deck, I also did a small shout out to the commander players. You can play Selenia Dark Angel as your commander and build a nice Angel Reanimator deck around her. Of course, you can also include Entomb, one of the best spells to get a card directly into your graveyard. And if you then play it on turn 1, get an Angel of Despair into your graveyard and reanimate it with Ezqimo, you probably won the game. For flavor purposes, I needed to include the Angelic Renewal. It works in this deck, but it's not that strong of a card. It's very situational, but I just love the art from Rebecca Gay. Resurrection is one of the older cards in Magic the Gathering that gets creatures back from your graveyard to play, so it also deserved an honorable mention. Another card I tested in the deck but that just missed the cut is Victimize. If you have a lot of creatures in your graveyard, you sacrifice, for example, a Bishop of Wings to get 2 Angel of Despairs back. You then destroy 2 permanents and have 2 5/5 flying angels. A really cool play. The guy on the art of Stitch Together isn't looking that healthy, but it's also a great card together with Animate Dead to get angels back from your graveyard to the battlefield. And last but not least, here are 3 big angels you can also include in the deck. Angel of Serenity also has a nice enter the battlefield trigger, and Akroma and Avacyn are just 2 very powerful angels.
So this was the video. I hope you like it, even though I wasn't included in the deck. And if you did, leave a comment and maybe you'll win a card market voucher. Oh yeah, here is this week's winner. You will find the info in the description box below. The Bahelian is coming, so I have to go. I hope I will see you again soon, and as always, keep it casual. Bye!